settled when we're going home. Settled when, settled when, settled when we're going home. Our foxhole prayers were heard loud and clear by the enemy. All of a sudden they had us surrounded with no way to escape. Lynn just grabbed a grenade and smiled, pulled the pin with her teeth. Boys, get ready to kiss your mamas. We're getting the hell out of this place. Settled when, settled when, settled when we're going home. Settled when, settled when, settled when we're going home. Sure enough, our remains were shipped back to the States. Photographs, uniforms, and our dog tags are on display. My mother marched up to Lynn's father, crying all in his face. Well, ain't it great, my son and your daughter made it home today. They're settling in the ground of their hometown. Settling in the ground of their old hometown. Can you pick me apart? Can you pick me apart? Can you pick me apart? Put me back together, better than I was once before the war, long before the war. See, boys, I got us home.
Welcome to Acute Mania Live. That was the very first guest that's ever been on the show 4 years ago, Dale J. Gordon with Settled Lynn. Today, this is the second of the I guess double header from today. I don't think I've ever. Well, I've done one other show a long time ago, one other day a long time ago. I did two shows in one day. And so it's been quite a while since I've done this, but it's exciting because we were able to speak with Social Asylum in Estonia this afternoon. That was fun. It was it was a lot of it was an interesting conversation. We had some interesting conversations, and I'll be posting clips about that later on. And also today or this evening, I guess it's today there, right? So this evening, Washington State makes their debut on Acute Mania Live. And Swallowtail, welcome. It's very nice to have you on the show.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
We were talking a little bit about the weather. I don't know why I do this, but I always start with the weather when I talk to people from other lands, from far off places. But you said it's been hot there, pretty much the same as it has been here. So I think we don't need to get boring on the weather because it's just hot. It's summertime and it's hot everywhere.
That's right. If we're complaining, I'm going to add a complaint. There's smoke.
Oh yeah, you said there was a wildfire. Is that? But that's kind of common in the West, though, right? Or is it more California?
Every year for 2 months at least. Yeah.
Does it always start like with like somebody starting it, or does it Is it just say again?
Oftentimes it's person started. The one that we're seeing the smoke from was done by a person. Lightning is due tonight, though.
Yeah.
So dry lightning is our worst enemy.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So do these people get like, if they can find them, do they get like fined or anything? I mean, you would think that they would be put in prison, you know?
Some decompress charges, and they often do. How much they get fined or in prison, it depends on a lot of factors.
Yeah, they have to have some evidence and things like that, I guess, too, to be able to convict them. Yeah, we don't really have that. Let's see, what was that, Rob? Was that last summer we had that where things were catching on fire? The New River Gorge caught on fire or something? Was that last year? And I can't remember how that started, but it was real dry, and so we have things like that, but not like out west where it's like every year. It seems like
every year.
We hear about it on the news all the time. It's always on the news.
But if there's smoke from any direction, it sits on the valley floor here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Is it kind of like fog, I guess, right?
Yes.
Fog sets in. Well, I don't know too much about Washington State, and we don't need to do the landmarks thing yet. But tell me a little bit about the area, like the region, and like what's. You said you're about 4 hours from Spokane, right?
3 from Spokane, 4 from Seattle.
Okay. Yeah. So Spokane's north,
east,
and okay. All right. I'll get it. I have to get the picture.
We're in north central Washington.
Okay.
So let's see. Is this that's the correct way? Is that the correct way? Here's Washington.
Okay.
This is
yeah.
Puget Sound. This is the peninsula with the Olympics.
A bear paw.
The capital. Seattle's right about here. We're right here.
Okay.
Spokane's over here.
Oh, it's already on the east
Mount
border.
Rainier's like right here.
Mount
Okay.
St. Helens is here. Adams is here.
Have you been to St. Helens?
Oh yeah.
Have you? Have you climbed? Can you climb to the top? Did people actually climb it?
Yeah, you have to get a permit because it's like the 3rd most climbed mountain in the world or something. But there's one day a year where it's the last day of the season. You don't have to have a permit. I climbed it, and it's like 5,500 feet of elevation gain, which is no small feat.
Do you have to physically climb it? Like, are you actually like on your hands and knees climbing?
To walk.
Yeah.
Walk. Most of the mountains you can walk up. You have to look for rocks to go like this on.
Yeah. So you don't have to have like ropes and stuff like that to climb it then.
No, there's a trail the whole way. It's cool though when you get to the rim. You can see the striations of like whatever Mesozoic period or eruption it's had. You can actually see the stripes in the crater. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I guess it's still active, so I guess it could erupt, right? Again.
Yeah, it goes off, but little ones.
Yeah.
What everyone's worried about is Rainier because that would destroy.
Or Rainier, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I think, yeah.
That would destroy a lot of people's homes.
Yeah. Well, St. Helens did too, didn't it? I mean, wasn't that the one from like the 80s, or am I not thinking?
Yeah, 1980.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that wasn't a good thing.
Pretty destructive. We got the ash up here, so that you couldn't drive. And
really?
In this valley, see, there's a range of mountains between the border and like way up in Canada, but it goes down. And one side we call the west side, and where we are, it's the east side. And the ash from St. Helens came clear up here and went into Canada. And it was so thick that you couldn't drive your car because it would clog up your carburetor.
Jeez.
It was pretty wild. It was
got
very quiet. You couldn't hear any birds or anything. It was
kind of like the COVID times when it was just real quiet. Nobody went anywhere, and well, there's birds, but it was just that was pretty much all you heard. I'll never forget that. Just because like the freeway is just right out here, the interstate, the 4-lane, and I went out when we weren't supposed to. I didn't have a reason to, and I just went out and there was not a soul on the interstate. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was so just not a truck, nobody. But
yeah,
hey.
I had friends in LA who mentioned how there was no smog.
Yeah, it was clean.
Yeah.
Actually, do you remember seeing smog when we were out there? You know, when I was younger. You know, you just kind of looked over and you just see it. It's crazy.
Well, when Mount St. Helens blew, it was a Sunday, and I was scheduled to sing at for the morning at a cafe in Winthrop, which is 10 miles northwest of here. And I walked out of the cabin with my guitar in my hand, and I heard this kaboom, 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 like 3 big booms. And I went, who's mining today? It was like the only thing I could think of. By the time I got to town, they had found out that St. Helens blew. And it was just very eerie because the dust came down in a yellow, almost the color in back of your head that we see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was yellow. It just kind of rained down. It was interesting, but it was scary in a way.
Did it make a sound? Like did it or was it just ash?
Not the ash.
Yeah.
Just the kaboom.
Yeah, that's crazy. That would be scary. I mean, what do you? Ugh. Maybe I don't want to come to Washington. I don't know. But I guess we'll never know. It's like an earthquake. You know, they just don't really know when.
That's right.
Well, tell us a little bit about Swallowtail. I mean, I've read your individual bios and looked over the website and a little bit about the band here and there but in your own words, tell the folks a little bit about you.
Go ahead, Matt.
It all started
I need a drink.
in February 2022. I got an email. It was an email first. Yeah. And blah, blah, blah. Terry Hunt said I could contact you about playing bass. And then I never told you this, and I don't say this to embarrass you, but she had this laundry list of accolades. Yeah, you're like, I've been here, I played this much, played this much, played this much, played this much, this much.
It's her resume. She's giving me her resume.
Well, and so then, no flattering myself, I think I only replied like, how much does the gig pay?
I don't remember.
But anyways, it was a cold call.
Yeah.
And then we just scheduled a rehearsal. She brought her book. She has a book of like 10 hours of music.
Wow.
And we got along.
Yeah.
It was magic. It was like so easy.
Do you remember the first thing you played together? When you got together?
I could probably say it was probably John Prine, probably.
Was it?
Emele Woman, or was it?
It was probably, it was either Angel from Montgomery or On the Road Again or something.
Well, we didn't go On the Road right away.
It was probably Angel from Montgomery.
It was my 75th birthday, and I needed a bass player. And then later on, I found out he's not really a bass player. Playing bass that day for me.
Yeah.
And then I discovered he could play violin like months later.
Well, I didn't want to scare you off.
Yeah.
He didn't want to put his list of accolades next to yours, basically.
Correct. You gotta be, savvy about these things. No, we got along, and then we had the first gig, and people liked it. So then we had the next gig.
Yeah.
And people liked it.
Yeah.
And then we had the next gig. And people liked it. And then pretty soon, Emele's always on the lookout for more people. So she'd be like, I got a guitarist we can play with. And I got this other gig. Let's have a rehearsal with this guitarist. And I got this drummer. So we've had a bunch of session musicians we've hired. And we keep the ones we like.
Yeah.
But yeah, we spent a summer, and then somehow we got the wild idea to make an album. I don't know whose idea was that.
I know.
And we're still friends. We made an album, and we're still friends. And any musician who's recorded knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Or toured it together too.
Yeah. And so we sat down and did that.
During I got walking pneumonia. And so I stopped my recording and just let you take off and do everything you could do without me for a long time.
Yeah, there was I totally naively, I was like, we'll just lay down some tracks for a couple weeks and mix them and call it good. And 8 months later,
But we did it fast compared to most people.
Yeah, we had fun too. I don't know. I enjoyed it because well, we just got to sort of hear our songs as we wanted to.
Yeah.
I guess because in terms of my list of accolades, as you and I were talking, like I play string instruments, so I can put an orchestra behind our music by myself. And so we got to talk and then do arranging, and rather than like as a duo, we do what we can and we sell it. Emily's there, but Emily, you will hear on the Barefoot track. She has two tiny little lines. It's her debut.
Very good.
But Emily helps us with online stuff, and she films all our performances and helps us and things like that.
That's a good gig to have.
Yes.
Yeah. But our duo, we do what we can, but both of us hear so much more behind it than what we can do with two people.
Sure. Yeah.
So we got to do that, and I personally had a ton of fun finding the lines and writing them, whatever, or asking Emele what she wanted in support of her team. Like, I give everyone Tailspin because it was so much fun for me to work on. So we did that, and then we had a release concert, and then we keep working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun playing. You know, we play a lot here, don't we, Rob? Well, he can't hear me. He's got headphones on. Rob plays guitar in the band that we kind of do, and we just wrote a song and a new song, and we're both excited about it because we're like, oh, what if we do this here? You know, and you probably, you know, everybody has that moment, and you just get so excited. You're like, oh, that sounds way better, you know. So then that's what we did we usually practice on Mondays. So that on Monday that happened, and the bass player was here, and he was like, wait, what if we do this also? You know how it is. It's just the whole writing process. You know, you have a base idea, and then you just start throwing these ideas in there. Well, that'll work there. What if we do that? You know, but it just makes it more exciting. I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, oftentimes when Matt sends me to the piano, he plays what he's thinking, and I just kind of listen and just kind of hit things, and then he'll say, "No, I like that part," or "I like that."
Do that more of that.
Do you listen to him every time he does that, though?
Pardon?
Do
you listen to him every time he says, "Now wait, I like that part better"? Do you listen to him?
I try to. You know, it's fun for me to learn new stuff.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot working with people that are a lot younger than me.
Now you've been some places. I was reading on your bio. You've been around the country, and you spent some time in Kentucky. Is that right? You spent a good amount of time in Kentucky?
No, I was. I mean, I've been to Kentucky for a show, but I was in a cowgirl band called Horse Crazy Cowgirl Band for 13 years. Wow. And I was the guitar player. And it was just me and a bass player, a woman, and a gal that she was a third vocal. That's what she did. She was a third vocal for our harmonies. And we traveled up into Canada and Edmonton and way up there, 100 Mile House, and down to Texas and over to Branson, and we had a lot of fun. But for me, I was finished with traveling. You know, after all of that 13 years, because we didn't play much at home. Our venues were out at cowboy poetry and music festivals. It was Western music. It wasn't country. Yeah. There was a big difference in those days. Mm-hmm. Not that long ago, but they don't usually play Western music on country stations. So anyway, it just made me a lot better musician. And by the time I met Matt, I didn't want to travel anymore, so he has to push me out.
She's good about it. She tells me like, no, too far. But occasionally she'll be like, I'll do it for you this time.
Yeah.
But it's funny. We live in the middle of it.
Yeah.
We really do. So there's like 4 bars we can play, which will fill it. We could outbook them in 2 weeks. So we've started to try and spread. We've got the next valley over. We've got a good relationship with a pub there, and then we're trying to make connections with people like you and things like that. But
so West Virginia might be out of the question for this.
I mean, if it pays enough and there's enough sleep time and a good bed, she just needs a good bed.
Yes.
And someone else to drive.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you guys can foot the bill, we'll come out and play. Heck yeah.
Well, we'll see. I've always wanted to do a festival, of guests, and
Yeah.
ones that can get here and ones that are willing to do it, and it's a lot. Festivals are a lot of work, I hear, and
Oh boy.
so I don't know what that's I gotta keep developing this first, and then let it kind of it'll happen when it happens, I guess, right? So it's
Put
kind
it in the middle of the country.
that's probably the best idea. Yeah, because I mean, they're
Not
from
this
all
time.
over the place.
They're getting slammed this time.
And having
Festival.
Washington off the list now though makes it. I think I have to look and see if I've had a band from Mississippi. I cannot remember because I found a band from Mississippi that I was talking to, and if I have, then there's 16 more states, which is not that many really if you think about 50 of them. But I think the hardest to find lately has been Hawaii. I've talked to a few in Hawaii, but they just don't. I can't get them to bite. And Alaska, I haven't talked to anybody in Alaska yet. So, but everybody I talk to knows somebody from somewhere. Just
Right.
North and South Dakota has been tough. North and South Dakota both, in like the Plains states, Kansas and Wyoming, and I just got Wisconsin off the list a couple weeks ago. So I've been from Milwaukee.
Mhm.
What do you say we take a listen to one of the songs?
Okay.
Sure.
I'll let you pick. I did listen to the whole album. I know
You must pick.
I know you said in the email, make sure we encourage you to listen to the entire album. I did listen to the entire album. It was
Thank
very
you.
good.
You need
Very
to
good album. I feel like we should wait and play Barefoot like towards the end of the show.
Oh yeah, no, that has
force
been
people to wait.
released. This is a teaser.
We need to force them to wait.
Play your favorite, just whatever it is.
Well, let's see. I'm thinking Tailspin. You said Tailspin.
It is.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about the song? Maybe what it's about. What's the?
Well,
You knew I was going to ask that question, right?
The truth, or you want me to make up
Oh,
something?
give them the truth. It's a good story.
The truth is fun. I mean, I've lived several lives already, so this was one of them. And I was with a person for several years, and there was this woman that kept coming around, and she just got all of his attention all the time. It was one of those things where I kind of knew that nothing was happening, but it still pissed me off. I
I'd say.
like her taking his attention. So one day I just decided I was going to write a song about it, and that's where Tailspin came up. She was just taking control of everything, and I was tired of it. So I wrote that song, and I really don't even remember what happened. If that kind of ended.
I was going to ask you. What was the
I
outcome
have
of it?
written songs that ended things like that.
Yeah.
Like I wrote one called "Talking to Your Wife,"
This is the best.
and that was a good one too. I don't think it's on our album.
No, but it's probably on. You use Spotify?
Apple, but yeah, I use Spotify sometimes. Yeah.
Because she has solo albums that she's released
Okay.
over the last 4 decades.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
So they're up there. And Talking to Your Wife again is a great story.
Talking to your wife. That's great. It's almost it just sounds like a comedy song.
Well, it's like I'll be talking to your wife again because I opened for this band, and when we travel, they'd end up with different women on their arms, and then I'd have to go home and talk to their wives and their girlfriends and not say anything. Or
Yeah, really. Yeah.
stupid. And so I wrote this song, and I didn't have any trouble after that.
There you go.
Good boys.
Oh, that's terrific. I love it. All right, let's take a listen to Tailspin by Swallowtail and the Kaleidoscope.
into town. There is a mystery around her I just can't put my fingers on. And I might be a little crazy, but I am not naive. She has him in her sights and she has something up her sleeve. She has him in a tailspin. 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 A woman knows there doesn't have to be a word spoken. It's just a feeling that God left on me. Knows. She hears a voice in her heart, yet she smiles sweet polite. A gentle wave in the ocean, heavy undertow. A woman knows, a woman knows. I can't hide my feelings anymore. It's not a healthy thing to do. She can't play me for a fool, but I learned all the rules in school, baby. And have you ever seen the North Dakota sky with a twister and everything in sight? Well, we have loved and learned how to bend, and the storm's about to end. She has him in a tailspin. 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 A woman knows there doesn't have to be a word spoken. It's just a feeling that God left on me. Knows. She hears a voice in her heart, yet she smiles sweet and white. A gentle wave in the ocean, heavy undertow. A woman knows, a woman knows. In a tailspin, she has him in a tailspin. She has him in a tailspin. She has him in a tailspin.
That's really good. I love that.
Thanks.
I'm just sitting there listening to the lyrics. I'm like, yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Well, I'll tell a brief story.
Sure.
So Emele, of course, presents all her songs to me because she has 40 years worth of songs. She presented this one like at the hour of midnight when we were putting the album together, and I was like, "You're holding this hit out on me? Like
Yeah.
this is a hit? Like it took us 4 months to get to showing this song? What's this?"
That's crazy. I love the subtle drums in the back. You know, they're not so overpowering. That it's there for the beat, and it's back there just enough. You know, with the little taps. You know,
That's Lauren Boley. He's amazing.
very good stuff. Very good stuff. I was I was telling Rob he's working on our recording over there, and I said, hey, I said you should listen to this stuff. It's really good. And he goes, you sent me the album. I was like, oh, that's right. Because I was telling him about you, you know, when we scheduled, and he goes, well, send it to me. I'll check it out, because he listens to everything too. And I was like, that's right, I did send. He goes, which one are you playing? I said, Tailspin. He goes, yeah, that's a good one. He knows.
Great.
I want to. Okay, I was doing something during that song when I was listening to that, and I found something in Twist that I can't wait for the landmark segment. So I figured we'd go ahead and do it if that's all right with you guys, because I can't. I know you have to know about this. It's a giant bee on a pole in Twist.
Right.
Yeah, that's in the city park. One of the city parks. Barry Stromberger made it, and it's a wasp. It's not a bee. It's a wasp.
It's called Beast.
Twist.
Yeah.
Beast, right?
Yeah. It's really cool. So in 1940, when was the big flood?
48.
So in 48, there was a flood that took out the town of Twist, and they relocated it. But along the riverbank, there are like Model T Fords, like in the river.
Yeah, that's what it says.
And so Barry, he's a welder and a pretty good metal artist. He has a forge and everything. And so
Not like metal artists like this, but like I got you. Yeah.
And so he takes his torches out and cuts out as much metal as he can when it appears, because where the river washes out.
So those cars are still there then.
Yeah.
They're still. That's crazy.
Yeah. And so it's made out of old cars from a flood.
And he made it into a bee. Well, I guess because the Twist. What did you tell me that it meant?
So it's Salish for wasp, and it's onomatopoeia for twizz, the sound they make.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's cool. Twisp.
There's another bee. It's not as sexy.
It's not a Model T bee.
About 2 blocks north, there's another one that's made out of corten steel.
What's that? What is that? I'm not aware of that.
Corten steel or corten. It's the steel that protects itself by rusting. So it gets that rust coat on it, and then it never rusts anymore. Anyways, there's a bee made out of that sitting on a corner about 2.5 blocks north.
That one doesn't come up. I want to see that. Does it look exactly the same as the?
No, it's on the ground, and it's much more subtle.
That's so funny.
Is that the one at the hotel?
Yeah, it's Joe's.
Is there anything else around your area? It doesn't necessarily have to be in your town or even nearby. It can be in the entire state of Washington. Is there anything that you know of or that you all know of that nobody would really know about, like by an internet search? You know, that's kind of like basically what I'm trying to get from the guests. You know, is there anything you can think of? There's got to be.
There's the Carlton Hole, the Mediterranean of the Methow.
The what?
The Mediterranean of the Methow. We live in the Methow Valley. Carlton's
not the Methow Valley. Yeah, we were saying.
And there's a swimming hole there. It's called the Mediterranean, the Methow. There are
well, I'll say something.
Yeah.
From the Columbia River, which is east of us, our river, the Methow River, comes from our mountains and goes east down to the Columbia. And from the Columbia back here, every town was a stage stop, an overnight stop for the stages. So about every 10 miles, they'd stop, and that'll be the town. So it's terrace down at the river, the town of Methow, the town of Carlton, the town of Twist, Winthrop, and Mazama. So it's I knew a lady who actually was on a riverboat and went to school in between Twist and Carlton in a little town called Silver. which nobody knows about because it isn't a town anymore, it's just a sign.
There's nothing there.
There's a lot of neat history here.
Yeah, there's the old Alder Mine, which was the #1
That's
gold
the one I was telling you about that I found that I didn't want to say anything
the
yet.
Alder Mine, yeah, it was the #1 gold producer for decades, and it's seriously a hole in a wall.
Yeah.
But we're fortunate because we get to live here. The landscape's really dramatic, and so
It is, yeah.
the mountains go from the floor is usually around 1,000 feet, and they go up to 10,000 feet. Most of them are peak out right around 8,000, and there's hundreds of them. And there's ridges, and we have glaciers, which is wonderful. There's all these tiny, like, I remember one time I was on a hike and we came over a pass, and there was a lake no one's ever heard of. It's not even on maps, and it's this beautiful little thing. And so there's, in terms of landmarks, I think everyone's got their secret spot.
Yeah.
But the major ones, I mean, we live in Washington, so there's Mount Rainier.
We've got Hart's Pass.
We got Hart's Pass, which is beautiful.
It's the tallest,
The highest
the highest drive-to pass in
the state.
just the state.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can see all the other mountaintops from up there.
That's awesome.
It's on the Pacific Crest Trail. So you have the Appalachian Trail, we have the Pacific Crest Trail.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's sort of special about our mountains is they're granite. And so they're just dramatic. They're white with perfectly opal blue lakes and snowfields,
And there's no industry here.
I was gonna ask what the industry was. You know, what do people do? What do people do for for a living around there? I mean,
well, I'm able to survive because my wife's a school teacher.
Oh, cool! That's awesome.
And I teach violin lessons to make other money, and then I also wait tables.
Yeah.
I sew for a little small company.
Mm-hmm.
Just when I don't have to do it all the time, but when they need.
That's one thing I don't know how to do is sew. I can't knit. I can't do any of that stuff. So if I have I go through socks like crazy because they're constantly getting holes because I have really long toes for some reason. I don't know, I'm a weird person, but I have really long toes, and so when my work socks, I come home and there's a giant hole, and I have to throw it away because I can't stand having my toe protruding through the sock, because then just one toe gets cold,
I have a song for you.
Oh, okay.
The knitting song.
Is that on the album?
No, it's on our release, our single release, Side by Side.
Side by Side.
Knitting song.
It's dedicated to me then.
It's for you. It teaches us how to knit. We can listen to it.
It teaches you how to knit on the song?
No, it drops some terms. Knowledge drops. It's like, I did it.
I knitted a sock once out of the yarn that I spun.
Just one sock?
Just one sock. I didn't like knitting. I like spinning.
Yeah.
I still have it. It's very old.
So that there's not really well, I guess the mines are closed. There's not really mining anymore. We have coal mines still here, but they're not as prevalent as they were. But
really closed.
No, we're closed.
Yeah.
We used to be underwater.
What is it?
This area used to be
underwater.
Yeah.
How long ago? It's like. I mean, we were in a recession for a long time. But
I feel like I need to have my dad on this show. My dad's a geologist, so he would know all these rock formations you're talking about. He would probably be very interested in that.
You know what a landmark is that very few people know about? That's
I don't know about it.
Soap Lake and Dry Falls.
Oh, right. South of us.
So it's south of us by a few hours, but very few people come to Washington to go to Soap Lake. And I tell you what.
Soap Lake? Like soap? Like.
Yeah, because it suds up. It's an endoheric lake, and it has all these chemicals. People go in there. It's full of lithium, so people sit in there to feel better.
Heck yeah.
But, yeah, it's a medicinal lake, and It's crazy. It's like someone dropped some sort of crazy behind the wall Eastern European town in the middle of Washington.
Yeah, it's strange.
It is. But
we have a German kind of settlement town. Rob probably knows, but he's got headphones on. It's called Helvetia, and it's I mean, you got to drive down this curvy ass road down this mountain all the way down to the. When you get to the bottom, you're in Helvetia. I haven't been there yet, but they have a festival every year that just celebrates all the German heritage and has German food. But it's like going to Germany within West Virginia.
We have Leavenworth,
Yeah.
which is little
German
Bavaria,
town.
little Bavaria in
Bavaria.
Washington. And
Nice.
what's funny is down the road is a town called Kashmir, but it's like country wagon town. I always thought it should. If we have little Bavaria, we should have little India. No one will take me up on it. Kashmir.
Is there a lot of like horseback riding around
Oh, yeah.
there? Is that what?
There's the town of Winthrop, which is where I live close to. It's an old west town. It has all the old facades on the buildings, and
Oh, that's awesome.
they go through all the wooden
Boardwalk.
sidewalks. And
Like you walk through, like when you go to a saloon, you walk through the saloon doors, right?
yeah,
Maybe. Yeah, Jax has.
Jack's has 2 doors.
Yeah,
if
has
you
saloon
can-
door.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me. Like I just thought that was just a decorative thing for your house or for your bar, you know. But that's actually a thing in real life. You know what I mean?
It is.
The old west, right?
Yeah,
Now, do you wear cowboy hats?
I do.
I used to have one. I haven't worn it for a while.
I don't.
Depends
When
on
we-
the weather.
When we
It has
well,
a hat
yeah.
to me, just whatever.
Yeah.
I wore a lot of them in the cowgirl band.
Yeah, you kind of had to because that's what the name was, right? So you had to
Right.
wear a hat. I mean, everybody knows.
Had to wear a hat.
Did you have boots and everything?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I've always worn cowboy boots.
So Google search "Horse Crazy Cowgirl Band."
Okay.
They're on YouTube. You will see the getup.
But not
Tinsel.
my band, not the one I was in.
Not
I
yours?
can't find it. They took everything off
There was
when I
one.
was in there,
Huh.
except what I put up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Searching.
you go to my YouTube thing, you can see it.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll do that after the show.
Tinsel.
I have it down. Well, I kind of want to show you something, but I have to go get it. So I figure we'll play Rains while I'm doing this because I just now thought of this little surprise of mine. It's not much. Don't worry about it. Is Rain about the weather, or is it about something completely like a?
No,
like,
that's
like
actually
horse
probably
bike
one
riding. Rains.
The more personal songs I've written,
It's very good.
something bad happened to me, and so that and in terms of writing, Emele and I occasionally talk about this. We write very differently, and it works well for both of us to approach each other's pieces. But all my pieces start with a feeling, and then I work metaphors around them, right? And that language just works better for me. So it's just
I write straight to the point.
yeah.
Somebody's messing with your man, and you're going to write about it, right?
That's right.
And so it was just about having a bad thing happen.
The album's phenomenal. For those of you that don't know who Swallowtail is, and you're learning about them now, go get this album. It's really good.
Thank you.
It's a lot different than what I have on the show, but I love when I can break up from the normal metal bands and rock bands and things. But I've had magicians on here. You know, it's so fun to have these shows. You know, I try to do as many as possible. It's just the algorithm on Instagram gravitates me towards metal bands because that's what I look up a lot. You know, but I don't. That's why I don't know how I found you. I really don't know how I found you. It's crazy. But
What category are we anyway? What would you?
I
the category?
what was in your bio? What was the name you had?
Oh,
in your,
Indiecana.
what is it?
Indiecana.
Indiecana, yeah. That's well, yeah. I mean, I don't know what it like.
What else?
It's good American music. I don't know. Like it's like you're. I don't. Yeah. That's what it is.
We haven't figured it out.
I'm not very good at describing.
It's like it defies categorization. It's
But that's a good thing because it's got the album has what's the song on it that I like?
you like track 2. Horse
Yeah,
Car.
the one I kept playing on the
Yeah, Horse
Instagram.
Car.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, it has a it has a sound for every genre you can think of.
But it's still
Like within before you start screaming, before you start going, "Raw!" Before that happens, it's got everything else.
Thanks, I'll take it.
I mean, it's good, but it's worth listening to, and you'll find, like I did, you find a song that you kind of gravitate towards, and then like Tailspin, I was listening to lyrics, I'm like, that's right. I mean, she's for sure. Now I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to run out of the studio here for a second, but it'll just take me. But I'm gonna play Rains while I'm doing this. I think I know where this thing is. If not, then I'll do something else. But here is Rains by Swallowtail and the Kaleidoscope.
Didn't feel the pressure drop before the rains came. Couldn't see the storm until the flood lapped up through the floor. On my side, the cold ride is how it all ends. The rains came. High tides on electric lines and rooftop island chains. Swelling streams with fancy things, oh, to have power on off the grid. On one side, a cold ride. This is how it begins. A new game. A new game. Oh, to be an Arctic turn of it all. Kissing cloud tips while autumn takes the fall. The rains came with a new game for us all. Didn't feel the pressure drop before the rains came. Couldn't see the storm until the floodlight up through the floor. A new game, a new game.
I'm sorry, I could not find the surprise. Could not find it. I looked. I searched. I know. I searched and searched and searched in the amount of time that I had. But I will have to send you a picture. I have a cowboy hat that was given to me by by someone that used to live next to me before I moved into this house. They were actually from Texas, and when they went home to visit, they bought me an actual Texas hat.
Sweet.
I don't know where it's at. I don't know what I did with it. But I'll send you a picture of me wearing this hat. I look goofy because I got gigantic ears. I don't know if you can tell. I mean, there's massive ears.
They'd be smaller if you had hair.
I could probably fly to I could probably fly to Washington State just in no time with these ears. That's crazy. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know what I do with it. But I did listen to Rain's. When you sent me the 2 tracks of feature, I did listen to that, and along with the album and stuff. It's a very good song. Can you play the violin and sing at the same time? Is that possible to do?
I can.
Because I know you have to. I mean, I don't know if I could do that.
I don't. I play keys on that one.
Okay.
And with overdubbing, I played all. There's 4 tracks of cello, 4 tracks of viola, which is a big violin, and then 2 separate 4 tracks of violin. There's 2 separate lines there, and then there's a solo on top of it. And then Emil's doing the oohs and ahs and harmony in the background. And I think you actually did play bass on it in the recording.
I don't remember.
And then if you go to our YouTube, there's both a great live recording of Tailspin and that
Okay.
with the whole orchestra, which is really fun.
I'll check that out. Yeah.
I think it's hardest to sing playing bass, straight up.
I do too.
Ooh, it's rough.
Yeah.
I don't often sing when playing violin. We play Paradise by John Prine, and I'll
Mhm.
fiddle sing
Yeah.
the harmony line, which
Yeah.
is really fun.
Now, okay, so last night when we were chatting on Instagram, I was asking you about the difference between violin and fiddle, and your response was hilarious. Like, I'd never thought of it like that, really. But it's basically the same instrument. It's just where you come from, basically, and how you were trained on this instrument. But do you play any of that style? When I think of like violin music, I think of classical. Where's he going? Is he going to get his fiddle?
Going to get the violin.
Ah, there we go. Okay, he's going to give us
He has it pretty handy.
an example here. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but he was saying, that's. I said, so basically, if you play violin, you wear a suit, and if you play the fiddle, you wear overalls. That's
well,
basically the difference.
It's bigger than that. My favorite is the joke I told you: a violin has strings and a fiddle has strings.
Yeah, that's good.
But so that's Beethoven.
It's good. Yeah, it doesn't. Zoom doesn't pick up your sound very good. Doesn't pick up high pitch, so it's not coming through. But
you're too. I can't play low pitch. I can play quiet.
Well, I mean, I don't know how it's weird how it doesn't.
It gates weirdly.
Yeah.
I'll just do is. Can you hear that?
No, I can't. It might be on the stream, but I can't hear it.
You hear that?
A little bit, yeah, like
Okay.
parts.
So here's a bit. That's a Beethoven line from thing. That's how a violin would play it. Buddy. Here's how a fiddle. Slide in, you make it funkier. Give it some.
Gotcha. Now, can you play like that? Like if you were to be in a band where they call for a fiddler, would you be able to take that role? Would you be able to do it on a roof? See what I did there? Would you be able to do it on a roof? Fiddler on the roof? I know that wasn't very funny.
No, so Emele, yeah.
Sorry about
I've never played on. Actually, so I did take a fiddle and climbed a mountain and played on top of a mountain because I thought
that
it
counts.
was cool to brag about in an interview 20 years later.
Yes, that works. Oh, I'll take that one. That counts for sure. Yeah.
So the I don't know. Do you want to sort of like breakdown of some subtle differences?
I'm fine with it. Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah. So when you get trained on the violin, you're trained to read. So I have to read a lot of music.
Read music and stuff. Yeah.
Like symphonies and things like that. And you're trained for articulation and tone. So you're trying to maximize this little Ferrari to always be at peak performance. And so there's a lot of technique involved. There's still a ton of technique in fiddle. I don't want anyone watching to think I'm I'm distant on fiddle. But it's more of an oral sport. Like people do read, like Texas fiddle specifically reads, but it's much more learned by ear and much more about being in the groove in the pocket and a lot more improvisation. And so because of that, yeah, one's more on the front porch and one's more in a suit.
Yeah, that's everything we say. Yeah, one's on the front porch.
But yeah, I'm lucky because I've never been trained as a fiddleist, but I've been a fiddler on the roof.
Fiddler on the roof. Fiddler.
But I've been lucky enough to come across enough Emeles in my life to force me to sit in on a band, but I have to learn the chords.
I assume you can play the upright. bass, correct?
I barely. I don't have
Really?
one. I could. It would
You
take.
could, yeah. I have faith in you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll put this away.
And mess up your fingers though for the violin. It'd put calluses on there.
Oh, the violin does?
No, oh, violin.
Upright bass.
Oh, yeah, because the gigantic strings for one thing, right? Does like violin? They don't have. There's no frets like markings like there's on like a guitar.
No,
correct?
you do it by you just mess
I would
up
never.
in tune.
I would never be able to do that. I mean, I can barely play the guitar, if anything. But like, but with the frets, at least there's a dot there telling me where I'm at.
Right.
3, 5, and
I
1.
mean, luckily it's mostly in the hand. When I teach, so
Like-
you have to be able to do low two and high two.
You should have to be able to do was it Spock that does?
So there's that, but you have to be able to do each one. So you have to do low.
Oh yeah, I can't. Plus, I have curved pinkies for some.
And you have to be able to do all. And so sometimes getting the manual dexterity to move with that.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try really. I mean, well, I would try if given the opportunity. I would try. Then I'd be like, you know what, you do it.
I'll do it.
But you haven't played or you used to play the Casio keyboard. We were talking about synths last night too, and I was saying about the Moogs and stuff. But yeah, you had it. I think every kid growing up, if they didn't have one, they should have had one of those $50 Casio keyboards that we were talking about.
Well, ours is in the corner. I still play it.
Yeah, they're good. They're good keyboards though.
Yeah.
And they have everything on there to write an album, for the most part.
In fact, we use it because so I know it's on Apple, but if you go to Swallowtail and not just Electric Horse, we have a double single we released that are 2 of my songs. The second one, Sitting at Home, Emele plays the Casio on it as our Hammond B3.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't take too much.
Do you guys DIY your recordings at home, or is there a studio?
Yeah, right here.
I use an H6 and GarageBand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Plenty of power.
Everybody I talk to, for about 95% of the bands that I talk to, DIY everything, and
I'd like someone else too, but we don't have a profile enough.
time and money. Time and money is the main thing, and plus, I think personally, it's better, and we do better with it too. You get more. You don't have to go sit with a producer and tell him what you're thinking, for a certain part. You can just, Rob does ours, but I'm learning GarageBand a little bit, and I'm learning that the process of placing the little blocks and all that stuff. I was so intimidated by that, but he showed me a little bit of things, and I'm still learning. But I'm able to sit down with Rob and be like, maybe you should change this part a little bit. You're able to be more personable with your own material than going to a studio and talking to a producer. I think.
Well, I got an earful from Emele when we were recording.
Uh-oh.
It needs to sound like this. Okay.
But you have to be particular with your own stuff. But you can't be so particular that you'll never release it, because that can happen too.
Oh yeah, we finally were just like, we're exhausted. Here goes with all the clicks and the glitches and
yeah. It sounds great though. You did a great job on it. You really did.
Yeah.
Sounds
worked
great.
hard. Almost broke that computer up several times.
I think we've made the folks wait long enough to listen to Barefoot.
Okay.
So
is this about wearing shoes?
No. So it hasn't been released. I've been trying to get it released, and actually, I think I just finished the cut. We're going to listen to the mix. We're going to listen to today. I think I have 2 more passes, and then I think I can finally get an IRC for it and get it out to all the platforms. No, so I play in symphonies, and one of them is 4 hours from here, and it's this wonderful gig. They put you up in a hotel room for 3 days. You go to 3 rehearsals, then you play the concert. It's wonderful. And anyways, I was sitting in the room, and I brought my guitar down, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll write songs. And my knee was hurting, because I do have a knee that hurts when the weather changes.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that's a funny thing to write a song about. It's like, okay, my knee's hurting. There's going to be fun. And it was 2 days later, there was a thunderstorm. And so I just liked that and kept kept working it and came up with this narrative about a hound dog and a fox or a vixen. Yes.
Jay Ray raises her hand. Yeah. if I may interrupt.
Does only wear flip flops.
Oh, you only wear flip flops?
He works at the cider house.
Except when I work at the cider house.
I was going to say, what about wintertime when it's snowing? You still wear flip flops?
So flip flops.
With socks? With socks, right?
No.
No, you're not that socks guy. Yeah. I keep flip flops on the entire time it's warm, and then until I'm forced to put normal shoes on. You don't wear Crocs though, do you? Because that's out of the question.
Oh no, I get the cheapest flip flops I can find.
Okay, I was going to say if you wear Crocs, I have to kick you off the show right now.
I respect that position.
Yeah.
I've never even owned Crocs.
Good.
No, shoes are just too much effort, man.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about barefoot before we introduce the world to this?
I don't know. I'm proud of it. I like it.
Okay. Now, is it going to be called barefoot with crunch guitar? Because I think you should keep that in there. That's just
so I knew what cut it was.
You should keep that in the title.
Maybe for you can always release it as with crunch guitar, but that was the most recent take.
Oh, so I haven't even heard it.
No, I sent an email.
I think Emele should play crunch guitar on this one.
I love that. Emele has a guitar, a Telecaster that Buck Owens gave her.
No.
Sparkly American. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Red, white, and blue metal flake.
Man, you should have brought that. You should have brought it and just played it well. There's settings I have to do on Zoom to make it so it picks up music on your side, but Have you guys ever? Okay, before we play this, have you ever switched instruments and tried to play something that you don't have any clue how to play, but just want to pick it up? I mean, is there any instrument between the two of you that you can't play at all that the other one can?
So poor Emele. I have too many sounds in my head, and when we hadn't figured out how we like sort of interface musically with each other, I was always looking for ways to sort of push a rhythmic vibe. And so I was like, you can just like step on the tambourine and play shaker and harmonica or something. And Emele got like tendonitis from playing the shaker.
I'm sure, yeah. Because you're like, no, you're not doing it right. Do it this way.
Right.
You just gotta relax.
Just doesn't.
It's all in the wrist. It's all in the wrist, right?
Yeah.
But that shaker. No.
So whose band is it? Is it Matt's band or Emele's band?
Emele's the boss. I'm the manager.
and the touring director, right?
Or vice versa.
It depends on who wants their stuff to get worked on.
I want to hear this too because I listened to a little bit of the one you sent me before, just a little bit. I didn't want to hear the whole thing. I wanted to wait until we were on the show. So this is my first time hearing this version of it, and actually the entire thing also because I haven't even heard the entire thing. So here's Barefoot with crunch guitar. I mean, this is Barefoot with, well, just Barefoot, right? With Barefoot. Unreleased.
Says the hound dog, I can feel my knee. It's gonna thunder and lightning in 2 days. Flies the vixen, what's her do, babe, what's her do? It's a feeling, it's just a feeling, babe, you're gonna be fine. But the hound, I got a job out in the black fire. There's no way that it's gonna be fine. 'Cause honey, my knee is weak. I'm sure to get shot this time. And all that you'll find on the shoes. I don't want no walking blues. me, I've got you neat, I've got you grounded. It's okay, babe, go out to the pine. Oh, honey mama, you can hold me tight, you can hold me tight all you want to, but it's only a matter of time. 'Cause honey, my knee is weak, I'm sure to get shot this time. And all that you'll find are my shoes. I don't want no walking blues. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, can't pull me up. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, you can't tie me down. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, can't pull me up. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, you can't tie me down. Don't need no bucket to carry water when you live on the river. Don't need no bucket to carry water when you live on the shore. Don't need no bucket to carry water when you live on the river. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, can't pull me up. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, can't tie me down. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, can't pull me up. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, you can't tie me down. Don't need no bucket to carry water when you live on the river. Don't need no bucket to carry water when you live on the shore. Don't need no bucket to carry water when you live on the river. I go barefoot, I ain't got no bootstrap, can't tie me down. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, can't tie me down. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, can't tie me down. 'Cause honey, my knee is weak, sure to get shot this time. And all that you'll find are my shoes. I don't want no walking blues. I go barefoot, ain't got no bootstrap, can't tie me down.
What is that sound going? Wow, wow, wow. What is that? It's driving me crazy.
Jarve.
Okay, yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
yes. I just see frogs jumping up and down. Frogs.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. That's so good. That's really good, man. I like that a lot. If you don't mind, may I send that to Rob on so he can listen to it at home?
Yeah, just make sure he ends up getting it on Apple so he can get those little ticks.
He will. He will. He uses Apple also. So yes.
Yeah, that's fine. More
sure.
fans, more better.
I would love for him to hear that. He's working on that song, and he did, you know. But yeah, that's really it's very bluesy, not very bluesy, but it's got some blues in it, like blues.
Yeah. Blues.
I like it.
Thanks.
I like it. Well, okay. So what else? Do you have another album? Does Swallowtail have another album up their sleeve? Are you going to be able to do that again, or do you think you're just going to? You know, a lot of bands are just they just release singles, and then when it's time, they release whatever.
Single by single, we have one song by a friend. We've got the backing track recorded for. It's beautiful, All Night by Havila Rand. That we really, I at least want to get a cut, and then there's a couple of meals I'd like to get down before she retires.
She's never going to retire. Come on.
And then, I mean, this sounds like a eulogy or something. I will carry on the Swallowtail.
Yeah, please don't do that.
And then, yeah, I mean, it's more fun to always be writing and working. So
for sure, yeah.
We have couple of songs that we're writing together, maybe?
We got one.
Can't remember.
Yeah, we got one. Well, yeah, two.
I think it's two.
Yeah.
When you guys go out and play, you know, out in the community and stuff, do you usually have the full band with you, or is it?
Not always.
Not always. We've only done one show with the orchestra. That was a 13-piece. That was our album release. That was too much work. And then Emele and I mean, we make more money when it's just the two of us.
Yeah.
And then if we think it's going to be better for everyone, we got Will Lone drumming with us right now, who's fabulous. He's on barefoot there. And then we got David White. We like to play with guitar, but he's a retired MD. So he only plays with us when he's in town and not in some far off country.
Guitar players are hard to nail down.
So that's why it's called the Kaleidoscope. It's the ever-changing group of backing musicians, but we're Swallows. There
used to be a like a cover band around here. They were like more of a party band than anything. You know, if you need a band for your event, but they were all doctors, and they were called Albuterol and the Inhalers.
Oh my God.
Seriously, like I'm not joking. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about them in several years, so I don't think I doubt they're doing anything. But they were all doctors. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
So thank you for everything. I have to go. I have kids.
Yeah. I was gonna say we need to wrap up anyway, but it was an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
And like I said, I love doing these shows they're just different from the normal shows that I do. You know, or the normal music that I feature, I guess, you know, because I like that I started doing this to feature everybody, you know, to include everybody, anybody creative, like album producers or people that don't even have anything to do with music, like an illusionist. I had the illusionist on 3 times. He was just on recently. He lives out in Sandpoint, Idaho, is actually where he lives, closer to you guys. But I've had him on. I had a mentalist from Pittsburgh on one time. That was interesting. Rob was at that when he was actually on that show. So you just anybody creative, you know, if you know anybody creative, even around your area where you guys live, you know, you say there's not much going on. There's got to be some creative people there, you know.
There's things going on. There's just not enough venues.
Yeah. Well, this could be a venue, you know. If you know anybody that would be open to doing a show, you know, it doesn't have to be about music. You know, I can put music for the intro and outro, and then we can just talk for an hour, you know?
Yeah, we'll keep up our conversation together on Instagram messaging. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Before we sign off, I have to do the shameless plug, swallowtailband.com. And thank you for having us. I do have to go.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you guys very much. Send me your snail mail also, or I'll send you mine, or we'll swap things like that. I got some stickers. I'll send you some temporary tattoos so Emele can wear it. It's for Emele. Yes, I need to do a reorder, so it might be a little bit before I send them, but I'll send you stickers, and then I'll have to circle around with the tattoos. But yes, thank you guys so much for being on. Come back. Let's do it again. Soon.
We'll just keep our conversation going. It's fun talking about boobs and fiddles.
Yes, for sure. Nice meeting you all. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you.
Playing us out of the show is a band called Gloomer from Pittsburgh that's going somewhere, I think to Illinois or Indiana or something, to do some recording. And I figured I would play an older song called it's off the new one, Being in Nothingness from them. And the next show for me will be I got one that I'm probably going to post tonight, so you'll see it on Instagram and everywhere for the next show, which will be next Tuesday. I'm not sure what the time is yet. And then, of course, we have the 4-year show coming up on July 27th at 4 p.m. And you'll see announcements and all kinds of crap for that, too. So, thank you, Swallowtail, for being on. And here is Gloomer with Being in Nothingness. Have a great day, evening, night, whatever it is for you in your time zone.
So then, let me connect this with the problem of birth and death, which puzzles people.
Maybe I'll be